Let us welcome to the stage, if we can, Matthew Brito.
Good morning.
Matthew is from Sandia National Labs, right? We got that right?
That's correct.
Based where?
In Albuquerque, New Mexico.
You walked here to keep your carbon footprint low? So.
We actually took the cart. It took 3 days, but...
Okay. You're about to meet the cart. Let's take a look. What do you think of their video powers? How they do?
Oh, I give them definitely a thumbs up.
The first question I have is, why do you have 350 golf carts at Sandia?
I wanted the same thing, actually. Our site is fairly large, but we have to utilize carts to get people moving around the fairly large campus.
Sean, what do you think? Investment, innovation?
I think it's fantastic, and my immediate reaction is when you see exciting things happening like this at a federal lab, how can we now pair you with small businesses to take this and scale it and get products like this out in the commercial marketplace? Okay,
so there's the question. Where does it go from here?
Sure. Next steps would certainly be in retrofitting all the existing carts on site. You see the 350 at Sandia, certainly could be expanded to all DOE complex or any site, basically. They are off-the-shelf designs as well as solar panel and parts, so it could be very easily implemented elsewhere.
You started this?
Sort of. There was a lot of people involved, certainly. My PV background, I started as a student intern in the PV group, so kind of had that background and really been able to bring it forward to my other jobs.
Ron, HUD going to be running around on solar carts here anytime soon?
We're confined to one building. But I do have this question. What did you learn? What did you learn?
Sure. Certainly, actually, we learned a great deal. I thought I knew quite a bit about photovoltaics. Did learn to downscale, because we've done some larger systems, still fairly small, a couple kW worth of energy, but it was definitely a learning experience to figure out how to scale it down to just a PV cart to charge 6 gel-sealed batteries and so on. So just a different mindset as far as scale.
Okay, because we're a really connected audience, I have a question that may have come in from somebody's tweeting us a question here. Can the Sandia PV carts be used for energy storage as well? Has this been considered for the 375 carts?
Actually, the batteries in the cart are the storage just for powering the cart. So as far as powering other elements, certainly it's just enough for the vehicle.
Sean, my question would be, if I'm thinking about this, government going first, all right, because you've got the opportunity to do that, you've got the focus where you can do that. But if this is going to work and going out into the private sector and it's going to incentivize, there's got to be a market based for this, right? When you look at this, do you think golf courts at carts at every golf course and other places that are using technology? My mother was out in Sun City, and half the old people there are driving around those golf carts.
Yeah, so I think, first of all, we've got to remember the power of the federal government as a buyer and a consumer. So especially in emerging technologies, the opportunity for the federal government to help drive the development of a marketplace by being a leader is incredibly important in any sector, but particularly in these emerging sectors. So you say, if there's a place for us to be first, it's more important than ever. For small businesses trying to sell to the federal government, it's really hard, so we got to take down the barriers. In this particular case, it looks like this is something, though, that while we can replicate in the federal government, let's partner with entrepreneurs who can figure out a way to take the cost down to do this in a really broad way. So I think there are additional opportunities, not just can the federal government be a buyer here.
You jump, do you have something you want to say? Jump in? No,
I
okay.
just wonder if the golf courses are going to be buyers. If it's a
Yeah.
more green technology for the golf course, I can go and have a more sustainable experience on a golf course. If it's solar and with the battery storage connected, then just
Can you do
charge
that? Can you capture that? I mean, is this something that can be saleable?
Absolutely. I mean,
how do you monetize this, right?
exactly.
How do-
They're off the shelf right now. Parts for like the club car, for example, that was featured in the video. So certainly it's available right now.
How much would it cost to roll it out to the rest of your fleet?
It's approximately $2,500 per cart to be modified. We're finding that being a low cost considering the initial cost of the vehicle and the infrastructure required to put in charging stations that we currently have.
And so what's the payback time in terms of energy saved as a
It's
result?
actually immediate. What we're finding on our site, since we're on such an old site, we were getting costs of approximately $10,000 to install a charging station per cart. So that is now offset by placing photovoltaics on the vehicle. We no longer have that charging station. We can decrease the number of charging stations that are currently on site and just not have to worry
Well,
about that.
these costs, we're not at marketplace yet. Yeah.
You know, how would you scale it up? So, for instance, if you're in the West and you have farmers, and our issue has been basically how do you reduce the energy costs for agriculture? Can this technology work in regards to whether it's hauling hay, whether it is planting seed, whether it's the movement around farms?
Sure, and we do have a variety of different types. So we do have a little more heavy duty that can carry larger items. It's just going to be the scale, of course. So we would have to design it according to the vehicle size.
Mayor Becker?
Yeah, I want to see us apply this on our public golf courses. You think of all the public golf courses out there in local governments, there's got to be a great opportunity there. But I'm wondering also about bicycle fleets. Have you looked at bicycle fleets at Sandia as a way to get around? You've got great weather there.
Yes, it's beautiful. Sandia is very great. They have a bike commuter club, so it's basically a couple hundred members of Sandia are part of that organization, and they really try to encourage carpooling and biking. So.
Yeah.
Biking's a large
So,
part
I mean,
of it.
even within the facility, I know that actually some of our businesses, our Chevron refinery, for example, they've got a fleet of bicycles. We've got one in the city for people who are wandering around within the facilities.
Yes,
Gets them around.
We certainly do that. In fact, I have a department bike. I don't actually drive that cart very often, so I utilize my
I
department
just
bike.
want to know where you got the music.
It was a tough choice. We actually had some other choices that we just really wanted to get things moving and get a little exciting. So
Okay, I'm going to go down the panel. We're going to let everybody have one quick word on either the content or the production value of your video. Then we're going to thank you and take a look at the next one.
Very creative, and it got the message across.
Oh, I go for the idea. We can apply it all over.
I liked it a lot.
10.
No Simon Cowell's here today. Thanks,
Great, thank you.
Matthew.